Joel Embiid hit like 3 in a row. I said, oh, damn, this is ridiculous right here. This dude, Joel Embiid, is one of the greatest big men to have ever played the game of basketball. And if he were healthy, Molly, we would be talking about, there would be religious conversations. Is this not the greatest big man we have ever seen in the history of basketball? Even with Jokic, even with Shaq, even with Wilt, Kareem, the arsenal that this brother has available to him, it's a crying shame that this dude is not healthy because he can do what he wants on one leg against the Knicks. He do what he wants to do. But I still believe in these Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to win Game 4. I thought they were going to lose last night. I think they're going to win Game 4, and I think they're going to come back to the Garden, and they're going to close them out in Game 5. And by the way, it ain't a real home court advantage in Philly.
Oh, no, I heard that last night.
I love Philly.
Really?
Second home to me. Oh my Lord, Knicks fans were everywhere. It was louder than... Knicks fans were everywhere.
Yeah.
Knicks fans were everywhere. Knicks fans were everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying the hostility, the home court advantage that you usually have at your disposal, I'm here to tell you that is not the case. In Philadelphia, Knicks fans were there in droves, all right? I know what Maxey can do. I know what Embiid can do. I'm going to give Cameron Payne some love and credit because he made some big shots last night. Give him a lot of love, a lot of credit. But in the end, the Knicks were still right there. Knicks were still right there. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to be even better in Game 4. Knicks win Game 4. They close this out in Game 5. That's what I...
Okay, so I'm going to do a deeper dive in another video with First Things First. But I wanted to talk about this more specific to the game because the other video that I'm going to make is going to be more about Embiid's brilliance. Because the fact that he put down 50 points is just unbelievable. He's doing it with Bell's palsy, where half his face is paralyzed, which is why you could see his eyes all messed up. The dude has a surgically repaired knee, only 2 months out. He is an absolute monster and is the only reason why the Sixers even have a fighting chance. And so I'm a huge Embiid fan. There's no hiding that. And I hate all the slander and hate that he gets because it's just wrong. All of the hate towards Embiid should go to the Sixers organization and not Embiid individually because they've consistently not built good teams around him. Look no further than the Denver Nuggets team, okay? And I was going to say this for the other video, but the 76ers, those role players that he has, Tobias Harris, 8 points. Kyle Lowry, 9 points. Kelly Oubre Jr., 15 points, which is a lot less, a lot more than he normally does. Maxey is finally ascending, but he's 23 years old, and he's only been a legit player since last year. And again, he's 23 years old. 23-year-olds just don't have that big of an impact in the modern NBA. Now let's look at the Nuggets. Who does Jokic get to have? Aaron Gordon, 29 points, 15 rebounds. Also an elite defender. Michael Porter Jr., 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists, 8 for 16 shooting. Also a great defensive player. Jamal Murray, who's in his prime, 22 points. Also capable of hitting buzzer beaters, game winners, putting up 20-some points in a quarter. Just amazing stuff. That is the team. Not to mention also an amazing coach. Now, I'm going to do, again, a deeper dive in this in a different video. But what I want to talk about, though, is that the Sixers will absolutely live and die by Joel Embiid. The Knicks have a better, more well-rounded team. They don't have the best player. That's Joel Embiid. But the Knicks have better, more organized pieces. Whether it's DiVincenzo, whether it's Hart, whether it's, their other big man. It's just they know how to play good, solid team basketball. The ball is moving. They always hit the open man. They've been hitting their shots, especially Hart and DiVincenzo. Jalen Brunson has been a little uneven, but that's kind of a little bit understandable considering he's a smaller guy, and once you're in the playoffs, things just get a little bit more physical. And so they have a more complete team. I'm watching the Sixers play, and, at first I wasn't sold on Nick Nurse. And then I was sold on Nick Nurse, and I said, wow, the Sixers look so much better. The ball movement, this is great. And then come time playoffs, I'm not seeing that same. You got Batum in the corner, wide open, not getting him the ball. That is his main point to be there is for him. Let's see how many, shots he took. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, he shouldn't be out there if he's not going to be shooting threes here. He went 1 for 2. And he was a big hero in the game against Miami. So, and he played 29 minutes. If he's on the court, and that's why I look at Tobias Harris, who went 4 for 10. All of the shots should be for Tobias Harris. All of them. I mean, all of Batum's shots, he should be taking Tobias Harris's shots. So I just don't like the approach, the coaching. I think that the Knicks absolutely should win this series, but Embiid is unbelievable. And so to think that you're just going to be able to step in and you have to get through Embiid. And so as long as he can stay healthy, and I kept saying he's going to get healthier as the series continues, because his legs are going to get from underneath him. The cardio will happen fast. And this whole idea that his knee will get worse over time because he's playing is backwards. It's only going to get stronger. So the Knicks should win this game. They're better coached. They have better overall players that know what to do, know how to win and play, be composed in any given moment. While the Sixers, it's just Embiid and Maxey. Maxey's like, he's still learning. He's 23. He's going to be a superstar one day. He's just not there right now. Not even LeBron James was able to win a championship when he was 23, nor Michael Jordan. It takes time to learn how to play winning basketball. And right now, it's like when the Knicks have the lead, I'm like, all right, they're going to be able to keep it. When the Sixers have the lead, I'm like, I don't think they know what they're doing right now. So that's I don't love what I'm seeing out of the Sixers. I really, really don't. It's just not great. I think the offense, even though Embiid put up 50, especially at least in the first 2 games, I think the offense should have been run through Maxey, because Maxey is the one that has the health and the endurance right now. Maybe now in these future games, considering Embiid is looking a little bit more mobile, that he can, that the offense can truly be run through him, obviously, as he throws down 50 points, which we act like that's an easy thing to do. Like, oh, anyone can just put up 50. They just have to take the shots. No, they can't. LeBron James needed to put up 50 points to beat the Denver Nuggets, and he hasn't done it once. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. AD, go put up 50 points. The Lakers need you to put up 50 points. You're in your prime. They need you to put up 50 points to beat the Denver Nuggets. He could not do it. The Sixers, Joel Embiid, need him to put up 50 points to win that game. And he does it. So I just think all the praise should be heaped on Joel Embiid. And I think it's, continues to be a tragedy that the Sixers can't actually get him supportive pieces. It's just Tobias Harris, and I feel bad because he's a nice person, but, 8 points? You can't have that. He needs to be that guy he needs to be the Aaron Gordon or the Michael Porter Jr. that's going to be putting up 18, 20 points, having a 29, 30-point game randomly. He needs to be that Klay Thompson, the guy who can take over a quarter when Joel Embiid and Maxey are not, or when they're on the bench. But he's not. And that's what you need to win basketball games. And the Sixers don't have that. So if the Sixers can get by the Knicks, and Joel Embiid can continue to stay healthy and to tear it up, then they have a chance. It's just all on the back of Embiid. But also watching Denver Nuggets, they got no... If they were able to make it to the championship, they got no chance of beating the Denver Nuggets. After watching the Nuggets play against the Lakers and watching the Sixers versus the Knicks, I thought the Sixers were more organized and better coached. And maybe it's not a coaching issue. Maybe it's just a talent issue that they just don't have the players. That's always kind of hard when you have these more average, players, the role players, to judge them. Like, are they just not good enough? Or is the coaching scheme not good enough? Is that approach not? And that's a little bit more difficult to kind of decipher, because it's you can't always tell, because sometimes the players are just not capable of doing what the coach wants to do, or sometimes it's the opposite. The players are more than capable, but the coach just does not put them in positions to succeed. But I think this has been a really fun series. I think it's frustrating though, because even Stephen A admitted that the Sixers should have won game 2, that was taken away from them with the refs, and I'm not even going to unpack that again. But again, Stephen A, super Knicks fan, even admitted that Maxey got fouled like 17 different times. And so now the Sixers should be up 2-1. And, and so I think that's a frustrating thing, because they're on their back foot. And yeah, watching the game at home, watching the Sixers crowd, I said before the game even start that the Sixers crowd has always been weak to me relative to the Phillies and the Eagles, and we saw that in the Knicks. This has nothing to do about the Knicks, about them showing up to Philly, and it has all to do about the Sixers. The Sixers have alienated a lot of fans over the years, especially with the whole process and all of that. It's a different scene. The Phillies have die-hard fans that just love baseball so much, and that even when the Phillies don't win, they're grateful for how hard they played and all of that when they went to the World Series, and then even when they came up short the next season, like, it was still just nothing but gratitude and appreciation and love, and it was just like, all right, we know you're trying your best. You know, the Eagles is definitely a little bit more cutthroat, but they are ruthlessly passionate about the Eagles, right? Like, they are just live, breathe, and die. This Philly is definitely Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. And then there's the Sixers. And the Sixers are like, what's going on here? You know, and it sucks because Joel Embiid can't stay healthy, and Ben Simmons ends up, being the opposite of the mentality of what, Philadelphia wants. So it's just been a tough culture for the Sixers to build a true rabid fan base that gives you that home court advantage that they definitely lack. But it was worse than I even thought, quite honestly. Like, I was even like, wow. I was watching the game with my dad, and I turned to him, and I'm like, do you hear all these Knicks fans? Like, this is crazy, but, not too surprising based off my own personal experience with the Sixers. Truthfully, once Iverson left, the fan base just plummeted, quite honestly. It was nothing. And you could see that because Joel Embiid was the first Sixer to score 50 points in over 21 years since Allen Iverson did it in 2003, which is just wild. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think about Stephen A's opinion that the Knicks will close out the 76ers in the series? And what do you think about Embiid's performance? Let me know in the comments below. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I read every single comment. So let me know. Let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.